Hey guys, it's Ninja, and today we're going to be talking about how to survive in 1vx. I put up a community post recently asking you guys for your feedback on what you guys struggle with most while Xing, and the most common response was I get melted in 2 seconds, which is completely understandable right now. Procs and everything considered, it's really hard to survive. So we're going to be delving into my biggest tips, my general philosophies for Xing. Going to be going over 4 main categories, and we're also going to be reviewing clips, and I'm going to be giving my thought process on what I'm doing in the clips. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Let's go. We're going to be talking about 4 sections. I know I stated 3 sections at the beginning, but fuck it, we're doing 4. So first section, we're going to talk about movement speed. Why is it important? We need movement speed because when we're gaining that distance to cover, let's say we're 5 seconds away from cover at all times, if we want to get to here, and it takes the average person 5 seconds with no movement speed to get there, it'll take us 3 seconds if we're in Wild Hunt and Celerity. So what that means is right when we're around this corner, we have 2 extra seconds to do whatever we want with. That can mean prepping a counter burst, like on Stamblade, applying a crystal frag, getting a Dawnbreaker ready. Or that could mean reapplying a buff or 2 if you let them down and you're taking a lot of pressure. It's kind of up to you and depends mostly on the situation, but that's why movement speed is really, really important for 1vx. Second thing we're going to talk about is your healing rotation. Your healing rotation is pretty important depending on the pressure that you're facing. There's a couple different ways that you can heal to get different performance out of it. So, first one we're going to talk about is the short burst heals for a lot of healing in the short term. So that means applying 2 hots and a burst heal. Most classes have 1 hot that hits really hard but lower frequency. This is the hot that you want to hit first. For Stamblade, for instance, that would be Dark Deal. On DK, for this example, it is Cauterize. Then you have your second hot, which lasts a bit longer but is less upfront healing. For this case, it's going to be Rapids. For Stam tunes in general, it's always going to be Vigor. For Mag tunes, this is generally Radiating Regen. I know a lot of people are doing that right now. I still like Rapids because, I don't know, I just do. And then you have your Burst Heal. For Stam tunes, this would be Rally. For Mag tunes, this is whatever the hell you want. So, if you want to heal a lot of damage in the short term, what you want to do is apply your first strongest heal, your second strongest heal, and then burst. And then burst, apply your second strongest heal, first strongest heal, burst a few times, then reapply, apply, and then burst again. That'll give you the most amount of healing in a short duration. But let's say I'm turning cover here and I want to re-engage after a couple seconds. I don't want that burst healing to come right away. I want it to come in a couple seconds. Okay, so the second healing rotation that we're going to talk about is when you want really strong healing after a couple seconds, not right away. And this can be useful for, let's say I want to bait out an attack and I want to fight a bunch of people after a couple seconds. I don't want to turn cover and immediately start fighting. I want to go maybe out here and then engage. So the way you would want to do that is apply your longest duration hot first. So Rapids or Vigor, and then your second strongest hot, or your other hot, and then Burst Heal. So what that's going to do is it's going to give you a little bit of healing to keep you afloat from minor pressure, and then when that second hot and Burst Heal come in and line up with each other, you're going to get a huge chunky healing. Tips for surviving on Stam, because Stam doesn't really have access to, stuff like Cauterize and Vigor typically, unless you're a Dragon Knight. We can use Stamina Sorcerer, for instance. A really great way to survive on Stam tunes is to go offensive when your rally's on a 5-second timer. So why the hell would you do that? You're like, oh, well, if my rally goes down, I'm going to lose damage. Yeah, you're going to lose damage, but if you eat shit, rally's going to go off on its own and save your ass. I always go offensive when my rally's around 5 seconds, because I know if I go in, hit my Donnie, hit my Crystal Frag, kill one guy, that's all I need to do. I just need to burst one guy and get out, right? Rally will go off on its own right as I eat like a meteor or an incap or something. So that big burst damage I took from a meteor that's like 8k just basically gets countered from my rally going off. Then I can apply my rally right after and then get to cover, apply my first strongest hot and my second strongest hot, and do that first healing rotation we talked about that gives the most amount of healing in a short duration, waiting for my rally to cook again. So third category we're going to talk about is finding your highest priority target and maintaining line of sight from them. You know, you're going to have 5 people around you, and yeah, it's a lot of pressure, but you're not going to maintain line of sight from all 5 people. The real game enders are the ones that you need to maintain line of sight from. Things like snipe spammers, things like Magdks that can desync you with like a curse and a mage's fury and a crystal frag. You know, the real hard hitters you want to maintain line of sight from. So, let's say this is our goon. This is our sniper guy. We want to always maintain line of sight from him by using like this pillar. And maybe we want to go to this pillar. If you want to change your line of sight positions, he's an ad, so he hits through walls. Most people don't do that. If you want to change your line of sight position from him, right, you can roll dodge to mitigate all incoming single target damage like that. And then get to another line of sight and do a healing rotation based on when you want to re-engage. If you want to re-engage a couple seconds later, Vigor Cauterize, get in it. Or if you want to re-engage immediately, Cauterize Vigor. So you want to maintain line of sight from your highest priority target, right? But how do you identify them? Basically, anytime you see somebody do an ability, you should know their entire kit. When you're 1vxing, you shouldn't be watching yourself, you should be watching your opponents. You already know what you do, you already know what your class is capable of, what your build is capable of, you have no idea what the opponents are capable of, right? You need to be watching them. They're the ones that's going to end your game, not you. So, if I see some guy spamming in the back with snipe, I know that his 2 moves are probably silver shards, snipe, and maybe arrow, the fucking arrow barrage, whatever the hell it's called. But well, I know those are his 3 moves. I know that those 3 moves are way more damaging to my health than some Magdk over here spamming Force Pulse and Crystal Frag. The bow ult and the snipe desync is going to end me, not the Crystal Frags. So I need to maintain line of sight from the bow guy. If I can, I would also like to maintain line of sight from the Magdk over here, but it just depends on the situation. So how do we get to line of sight? How do we stay safe? How do we use line of sight to our advantage? 1vxers always say, oh, just use line of sight. Well, bitch, how? So we're going to get into that. Let's say this is our line of sight right here, and we need to get to cover quick. I'm going to use Simmering Frenzy to simulate some incoming damage. We can easily roll dodge, strongest hot, burst heal, second strongest hot, burst heal again a couple times, or a lot, reapply the second hot, keep burst healing, and then re-engage when we want to. When you roll dodge from here, you're completely avoiding all single target damage. So if they're sniping you, you're not going to take it. And then you're not going to take it. So then when you get behind cover, depending how low you are, if you're at like 30%, you're going to want to burst heal immediately. If you're at 50%, maybe you want to do your first strongest hot first. If you're at 80%, maybe you can just do regen instead, or vigor. It all depends on the situation and the targets, but that's generally what you want to do. If you use roll dodges like that, you're not going to take a lot of damage, and your healing rotation is very important when you're behind cover. If you want to change cover while still maintaining line of sight, you can easily roll dodge to another one, and then do the healing rotation based on the pressure you're taking. And that movement speed bonus I talked about earlier will give you a lot of extra time to reapply buffs. If it takes you 5 seconds to get over here, then all you're going to be doing is getting over here. You're not going to have extra time to maybe apply a volatile or move back here, and then buy another couple seconds, and then maybe activate wings and a pot and a deep breath, and then go behind this line of sight, buy another couple seconds, apply a couple hots, and keep her going. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's get into some clips, and I'll try and explain my decision making and basically my thought process on what the hell I'm doing.
Alright guys, so let's get into this first clip. This is just Stamina Nightblade, gooning around in no proc IC. I see a squishy guy at the front, 20k health. A couple of them are squishy. I don't really know who to go to, so I just drop a meteor on these people. Didn't go to the right guy, but the guy in front of me thankfully went down to some surprise attacks. And this warden, he's pretty squishy. I'm taking a lot of damage from some snipes. I got a bear on me. I got a lightning heavy attack spammer going on me. That guy's trying to snare me. I know to stay out of it, and I have my shade down away from them. See some jabs coming in. I start taking some pressure. I take a bow ult. I need to get to cover immediately. I see a trees ult. I know now is not the time to go in, so I'm going to focus on defense right now. See the squishy guy kind of exposed a bit. Put up my 2 hots. Put down a shade. I'm ready to engage. I try to go on this guy, but he blocks the in cap. Unfortunate. I'd still try and go on him. I greed forward a bit, and I wind up taking a lot of dot pressure. My rally's about to go down, so that's good. We got that burst heal going for us, and we can just shade out. Put down our shade again. Put down our 2 hots. I see a squishy target at half health. That's a perfect moment to go in. Surprise attack him a couple times. Hit him with the bow. GG. Roll away. Rally's at 4 seconds, so if I'm going to eat shit, it's going to go off for me, but I hit it early because I kind of needed it. Put up my 2 hots again. Shade down. Reapplying buffs. Winding up a heavy attack. Was going to go in on that guy, but decided not to, and all of a sudden I'm taking a lot of CC damage and a lot of pressure. I don't have a lot of sustain, a lot of stam to work with, so I'm just taking my time a bit. I got my shade on the flag still, so I can do some creative stuff with that. Trying to put a bit of pressure on the guy in the back. It's not really doing much. We've got a crescent on us, a bow ult. Now is not the time to engage, so I'm going to go back down. Rallies on 3 seconds, decide to refresh it. 2 hots again, making sure that we're all healed and ready to go. Pour it up. Hit an arrow barrage, decide to surprise him with a meteor into bow proc, and it almost gets him, but the warden is really tanky, so we try and get a couple more surprise attacks. Thankfully we got him, and our rally is on 1 second, waiting for us to, it healed us, okay? I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say. Guy's going for res. I'm gonna bash him, hit him with a little draining shot. I know it's weird, it's funky. Hit him with an in cap. Doesn't really do much. He's jabbing the shit out of me. Hit him with a 10k surprise attack. He's got crescent up, but he's not healing himself. I see that as an opening. I got my 2 hot cycling. Rally went off again to help me when I was going offensive. Even though I lost damage, it healed me and saved my ass. See a sniper low in the back. Hit him with an in cap. Get him down. 14k bow. Suck my cock. And then we're going on this guy. He's blocking to save his life, but it's not really doing much. Templar comes in, tries to save his buddy, but he's just jabbing air. I don't know who the hell he's jabbing. He's gone. Going after this guy again. He's holding block with his 50k health like it's gonna fucking do something. So I in-cap his bitch ass and I shoot him with a bow, and I'm trying to get that stun off. Finally get the stun off, and he's almost dead. I don't know how you die with 50k health, but he managed it. So that's kind of my thought process on this first clip. Might not be what you guys are expecting, but I don't know, I just went for it. Alright guys, so now we're going to get into the second clip here. This is on my Magdk in CP Imperial City, and we're outside a little red base. So I see a guy here, I'm smacking the shit out of him. He dies, yeah, away she goes. I see a guy, he's crit charging. I don't really know what his build is, but isn't really doing a whole lot of damage. He's got echoing vigor, so I realize this guy is kind of just fodder. Get him out of the way quick. I'm taking 2 snipes from the tower. Guy comes in with an in-cap. There's a wolf on me. I know I have a lot of healing debuffs on me now because of that wolf and the poisons, so I need to really keep watching my healing. Use a couple dragon bloods. Try and deep breaths for some better burst heals, but I'm taking a lot of snipe damage. You need some line of sight. Can't stay out there forever or else you're just going to get whittled down. Get a heavy attack off. I smell a zerg behind me, so I'm going to miss to mitigate all those single target attacks like Howl, Crystal Frag, whatever, until I get to line of sight. As I turn line of sight, getting heavy attack for some mag and major mending, and applying my 2 hots. Using Mistform again to absorb Power of the Light and some really high damage single target skills. Try and get another heavy, doesn't really work. Mistform, put up our Vigor, or Rapids, whatever, and now we're going big dick mode. So we enter Corrosive, get the Deep Breath, Talons, Other Breath, and then Deep Breath, Talons, Other Breath again, looking for targets that are low and easy to stun. Colossus drop, meteor drop, we block it. We get line of sight on the other side of the group from this side of the wall. That's what we're looking for. You want to stay out of range of their high single target damage abilities. This guy coming up, he's looking a little bit weak, so I go and turn on him. Get him with the talons in the roll. And then we're starting to take out some more damage. I see these guys, I'm in a really bad situation. I have to pop corrosive here. So breath, talons, breath. And then breath, talons, breath again, but it doesn't do that much, so I need to get some line of sight away from that Jesus beam spammer. Thankfully they have 2, because of course they do. So we're going to use Mistform, absorb some more stuff, and we're going to go for some more line of sight here. I can't take them out in that little bit of an area, I need a house. Use Mistform in that long stretch, because if you're just going to spam burst heals, you're probably going to get whittled down and killed anyways. Smell a Templar behind, Mistform that shit because I'm a fucking baller, and take another meteor. We see another meteor coming in, so we Mistform. Get some line of sight, 8 and incap as well. Ain't no skin off my back. Get a heavy attack, apply our rapids. Our rapids are up. We're going to apply rapids again, and then we're going to enter corrosive. We're going to try and go for a turn and burn here. This time it doesn't go quite as we expected because they're a little bit spaced out, but we do manage to get one. Corrosive is almost up. We got our pot up. Go for Mistform into a cheeky fossilized whip and roll out into there. We're going for more line of sight here. Get stunned. I see that they're coming in with some big heat, so I try and roll dodge, but they catch me with the DB anyways. I go into Mistform so I don't take a bunch of damage from Power of the Light and that Dawnbreaker tick. Those only last about 4 seconds, so they're both out of the way. And now we're applying our 2 hots again. I'm feeling a little bit cocky here, and it wasn't the right move, so I go and kite. I try and get out of there, but we're taking a lot of damage again. Another incap coming from my forehead. And this is where I lose the X. I did the one rule, and I just stayed still. I didn't move. I was feeling cheeky. I was like, hey, I'm gonna tank out half his Northern Storm and then go in corrosive, but it didn't work. I got stunned, I got cucked, and I couldn't deep breath. So guys, that was basically it. If you have any more ideas for me to cover for 1vx, please let me know in the comments. If you found the video helpful, also let me know. Consider dropping a like, and subscribe if you want to see some more stuff from me. If there's footage you guys maybe want me to review or something, you can let me know. Maybe like just make a YouTube video that's unlisted for it, and I can open it up, look at it, give you guys my thoughts and advice for your own Xing. I've helped a couple of people already with their clips, so I wouldn't mind it at all. Just let me know in the comments. Thanks, guys. Keep it easy.